Well, I just got off the phone with my mother and father, and in that conversation came up a question. I asked my father, I said, well, what if my grandfather or my grandmother, any one of them, let's see, I think my grandfather passed away, one of them passed, two of them, I had three grandfathers because, well, both sets of my parents got divorced and remarried before I was born, which gave me a lot of grandparents. Most of my grandfathers, two of them, died in the early 90s, and another one died in 97. Then my last grandparent to pass away was in 2015. I was in my 50. I think I was 50 years old. But if they would appear today, poof, standing right here, say they were standing out here in the woods and wanted me to tell them about the world as it is today, what would they be shocked at? What would they be most surprised at learning how the world has changed? And I'm like, man. And I knew their political viewpoints, most of them. And I will guarantee, and I have a hard time believing that they would agree with some of the things that are going on today. I would have to look at my grandmother. My grandmother passed away in 2015, so that's a little after things started getting weird, like they are now. But still, there's so much that has happened in the last 10 years she wouldn't even believe. But let's just say, ooh, a piece of wood fell off my deck here. Let's just say my grandfather, poof, he's right here. And he wants to know what's going on with the world. Because 1997 is when he passed away. Well, I'd say, guys, there are guys out there that they go by ma'am now. Yep, Grandpa, they think they're women. What do you mean they think they're women? Well, they think they're women. They change their names to women's names. They wear dresses and they try to use the women's bathroom. You think he'd believe me? Probably not. What if I showed him a video of all these young people crashing into a store and stealing everything in sight and running out and not getting arrested? No, didn't think he'd believe that either, but it's happening. Yep. And guess what? If they do get arrested, Grandpa, they let them out with no bail. I'm not lying to you. They let you out with no bail. I know. They don't believe in prosecuting crime anymore. I know, it's the craziest thing. In 1997, he didn't see people walking around like this. I could take him to a busy place and he'd just be standing there and going, what are they doing? What are them things in their hand they're holding? Well, Grandpa, those are cell phones. Well, what's a cell phone? Well, you can get on there and you can surf the internet and you can do all these things and talk to 10 different people at once and even do it in video. Why? Why don't you just go over there? You see, trying to explain today to somebody that their last memory was in the early 90s or the 80s, they wouldn't understand. They would think the world has gone completely bonkers. And you know what? They'd be right, because it has. Then I'd say, hey, Grandpa, let's start you out slow. Let's go to the grocery store. Let's get some food and cook some good food. And let's go. I'd open the door, let old Grandpa in. We'd go to the grocery store. I'd go right to the ground beef. He'd see that and he'd go, well, obviously they've made a mistake. Nope, it is $8 a pound. No way. They could not believe what they see today. Then we're going to get online. He's never been online. I'm going to show him this. We're going to look at houses. I'm going to pull up his old house that he lived at. Yeah, I think they paid $28,000 for it. Big 3-story house with a basement. And I looked at that not long ago. And that house last sold for $258,000. They sold it for $63,000. I think they sold it in the early 90s for $63,000. 250 something thousand it sold for last time. You wouldn't believe it. It's the same house. They haven't even changed the siding. They haven't done anything. It looks like they painted the porch, but other than that, it looks like the same house my grandparents had when I was a kid. Because it is. Only things are a lot more expensive. And then if he went for a ride around his old neighborhood, he would really see a lot of changes, because it hasn't changed for the better. The crime is worse. It's just crazy. So you have to think of things this way, folks. How would those people react to what they see today? He would first probably say I was crazy for living out like the way I do. Why would you want to live out like this away from all those people? But after about an hour's worth of showing them and taking them for a ride and letting them see how people are, I think he would understand. And as soon as he got in my new car, he would probably wonder, what are all these gadgets? I mean, all that would be new to him. I would have to take him in the old truck. That he could understand. But even that truck would be new to him. Things are so much different. Some are for the better, but most of them, they're not. They're not for the better. They only make us lazier. They make us dumber. They make us rude. There's no end to it. And my only answer was to come out here. I don't see a housing complex going up back there anytime soon. Not saying in 50 years all of this won't be a city or a neighborhood, because that is very possible. But for my lifetime, for the years I have left, I don't see that happening. Now, as I said, they had different political views than I do, but I knew them, okay? I knew what their ethics were. I knew their morals. Would they agree with some of these things? No way. There's no way in hell. And that is how these crazy political ideas evolve, because they just wait till the younger people take over. And then it's the majority. Because there's no way anybody born in the 20s or the 30s, even the 40s, agree with half these things that are going on today. And it's sad. It is really sad. And they're not coming back. It's only going to get worse, man. I hate to always make videos that are gloom and doom, but that's what you guys like, and that's the truth. I would like to find some feel-good stories to make a video about, but the problem is, you won't watch those. That's just the way it is. So, I guess I'm going to get off here and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. I do too much thinking. That's probably part of the problem. But when you run 2 channels and you got to come up with ideas, well, I just thought, what if you asked your grandparents about something, or they seen what was going on today? What would your grandparents think? They would be ashamed. They would be ashamed. All the things they worked for in their life to make our lives better, for it to be like it is today. But it isn't the end of hope, but we got a lot of work to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy trails.